Welcome. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family. And we are delighted that you have welcomed us into your home. We certainly want to hear from you, so send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com, or just check us out on Facebook. Well, today we have a very special guest. It is Raymond Arroyo, who is the managing editor and lead anchor at EWTN News. He is the author of several books for young readers, including the one that we're going to talk about today, which is The Spider Who Saved Christmas, and we'll be speaking with him live coming up. So
first I want to say a happy and a blessed birthday to you, my beloved.
Well, thank you.
And
you're the best.
You are precious. I am filled with joy. The joy of the Lord for your life, that you've come into existence. It's blessed. It's wonderful that you exist, that you are alive. You've suffered various things in your life, and you have had, well, we started celebrating, not today is your actual birthday,
right?
But over the weekend, right? We had a nice party there at the house. And I just want to say that you had 6 cakes.
I did.
You had 4 cakes.
Like a whole lot of
when
cakes.
was it? Was it Saturday we had the children?
Saturday, yes.
6 cakes, okay? Some of them were made from scratch, others were purchased, all of them beautiful. Then at work today at our medical center, the women had a beautiful cake there for you. Then you got a cookie cake.
Yes.
6 cakes. You are special.
Well, I hope it makes me sweet and not fat.
You are sweet.
Well, you know, my son Wesley came and brought us those big balloons that say 63, and I went, no, let's change those numbers around. I'm just 36. But it was beautiful. And as a mom, what I wanted for my birthday, and you were so accommodating, you got me beautiful flowers and paid for the lovely dinner that we had catered. And to have all of our grown children at the dinner table and their spouses. And, you know, when your children grow up and get married, that time where you have them all back in the house, it becomes few and far between. And so when there's something that you want and you can ask for it, and they all were very accommodating, and they drove from their homes, some of them far places, and they all came and we were together.
It's the least they can do for mother, and they know that.
Well, it was a beautiful, beautiful evening, and I was lovesick. I felt like just saturated in love, and they were all so kind, and they said things. And then I gave them gifts, too.
You did, which I thought was like incredible. We're talking about planning the night, everything was happening. You said, I have gifts for the children. I said, it's your birthday. What are you giving them gifts for? Yeah. But you do that. Mothers do that.
I gave them parting gifts, really, but they were, I gave them this great little pasta sauce that I wanted them to have where they can make just for them and their spouse. Yeah. We have 17 grandkids.
Because they're all starving to death.
I said, just make this little pizza. This is really good sauce. They did that. Yeah. And then I gave them a book. It's a Wonderful World, the book that I gave to them. And I said, I want you to read this to my grandchildren, and I want you to play the song by Louis Armstrong as you're reading it and stuff. And so they were all thankful, and just too blessed.
It was a great night. And this morning we began with Eucharistic Adoration.
Yes.
So in our medical center, we have a beautiful tabernacle. The Lord is present there in a monstrance. So we opened up that tabernacle. We got to just love the Lord, and I got to pray for you at that time. So we're off to a wonderful start.
Yes.
And being with you at home with Jim and Joy, being part of the EWTN family and celebrating Joy's birthday with you means a great deal to us. So cherish, and bless one another in each day that we have together. Joy, happy and blessed birthday to you.
Thank you.
There's plenty more to come. Raymond Arroyo is on deck, speaking about his new book, The Spider Who Saved Christmas. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and today our special guest is Raymond Arroyo, who is the managing editor and lead anchor at EWTN News. He's the author of several books for young readers, including the new book that we're going to be talking about today, The Spider Who Saved Christmas. And yes, it's available at EWTNRC.com, so you want to go out there and get it. So you have it for your children and your grandchildren. You're certainly going to want this great book in your collection. Well, Raymond, we welcome you to
Hi,
At Home
Jim
with
and
Jim and
Joy.
Joy. We're delighted to have you.
Oh, I'm delighted to have you in my home. Hey, look, EWTN, you know, they paid for a big studio, my house. So
There you go.
here we are. Unfortunately, so you get what you get when you come into the house. So I'm sorry I don't have the jacket on, but I wanted to be relaxed and at
There you
home
go.
with the
There
whole
you go.
vibe.
And that's perfect. And you have a busy day, and we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, we will.
But first, we're going to talk about this book, The Spider That Saved Christmas, and this legend. So tell our family a little bit about this fabulous book.
Well, you may not have heard this story about the spider who saved Christmas, okay? But you certainly know remnants of this story. Every Christmas, we decorate our trees with tinsel. Well, this is the origin story of tinsel, and it's where that tradition evolved. It's mostly in Eastern Europe, but the story has been around for centuries, and it is about a spider. I call her Nephila, a character I created, but it was a raw old legend that had fallen out of practice, had been forgotten, had not been passed on, and I came across it while doing some other research in a Bible commentary, a very old Bible commentary, and it was in a footnote. And it just was about 4 lines about the Holy Family encountering this spider when they were fleeing Bethlehem for Egypt. And I thought, why have I never heard this story before?
Yes.
So as I thought about it and pondered it and reread the scriptures and found early extracts of this story, I kind of pieced them all together and told my own version of it. And it turned out beautifully. It's beautifully
Yes.
illustrated by
It is.
Randy Galagos. Really brings the story to life. And I've been touched by the young readers and old readers who have encountered it and found something special in this tale.
Indeed. And not to belabor kind of the illustrations in it, because I know you're the writer of it, but the illustrations are just beautifully done. And the lighting in each one of the images is fantastic. And most of the light is coming from St. Joseph as he holds a lantern in this cave and lights up the face of Jesus and Mary and the spider and the web and the whole deal. So it's absolutely beautiful to look at. And as you were saying earlier, this really fills a gap
It
in a
does.
number of ways, right? From Bethlehem, we get Bethlehem, and they were in a cave in Bethlehem, right? So they had to settle there.
Well,
maybe they moved to a
He
house.
was born in Bethlehem, and they're fleeing through the
Right.
Judean desert, and that's
Right.
where this story
Right.
takes
The
place.
gap is from that place to Egypt, and so now they're in another cave.
Right.
But whether they're in Egypt or on the edge of Egypt, and so they're seeking safety, and
Yeah.
seeking safety from what? What's about to happen that they're fleeing from, right?
Well, they're fleeing Herod's guards who have been sent out to kill
Right.
any child under 2 years old. And I thought, you know, this is a piece of the Christmas story we don't often talk about. But when I started working on this, my goodness, a year and a half ago, I never realized that we'd be dealing with COVID. And in this COVID reality, I now realize when I open the book, we're all like this family. We're
Right.
on the run. We're hiding in our caves, trying to protect our family from death that's just outside the door. And yet, the message here, the hidden message that I think we really need this Christmas is that if you have the eyes of faith and you believe deeply enough, hope is always present, and God doesn't abandon any of us.
Amen.
And oftentimes, grace is found in the most common of things. In this case, a spider in a very frightening, dark cave. So it ties in, I think, neatly to the moment we're finding ourselves in today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I like the line that our Blessed Mother shares in the book about everybody has a purpose, right? Everything
Right.
has a purpose. And even in this election time where we're finding ourselves, in the sacredness and the dignity of every human being, and knowing the purpose of all God's creation. I mean, it's a great line, and that one that every single person can own, right?
Well, so, you know, when you're writing a story like this, and again, I had a bare bones sense of the plot, but you don't really, you know, those stories didn't touch me in any particular way. I thought, oh, it's a neat story. But when you spend time and you start meditating and getting the heads of these characters, if you will, that line fell
Yeah,
out where
yeah, it's great.
Mary says, "We're all here for a reason." She stops Joseph from attacking
Yes.
the web and killing the spider. And that line ends up being the spine of the entire story,
Right.
that we are all here for a reason. And there's also an interesting reflection that, frankly, I didn't see when I wrote the story between the Christ child and Nephila and her children, who she's protecting.
Yes.
So it's an interesting reflection of something so feared and ignored as a spider, and how that can awaken us to the reality of life. Of course, this is what Charlotte's Web did, the great E.B. White. It also reminded us of, I think, the preciousness of every life and the wonder of God's creation. And that's really what this book is all about
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And you know, you think with the line that you came up with, everyone's here for a purpose, as you said, came out of Joseph's. He's a defender. He's a protector.
Right.
So
Right.
he's got the lantern, and he's saying to her, "I'm so sorry that that we're in this cave." And then
Right.
he slits to some degree the web. And just like most people, we're going to take out a spider if we see it, usually, you know?
Of course,
And so, but
of course.
so there's a lot of stuff that's kind of repulsive. Like spiders are repulsive, webs are repulsive. The cave's repulsive, COVID's repulsive, our political climate is repulsive, everything is. The cross of Christ, in a sense, we know it now with spiritual eyes, but that was repulsive. That was, what did they say? Foolishness. The cross is foolishness to the Greeks, and it's shameful. It's a cursed thing for the Jews. And all of a sudden, all these ugly things, the manger where our Christ child was laid, it's an ugly thing. It's a place where animals eat. But our faith is something that takes ugly things and repulsive things and uses them for his own ends and his glory. And Mary is just so wise in that, because normally we would take things out like this. She says, we're all here. This is holy. We're a holy family. We here. And the very things we drive away sometimes, not that we want to welcome COVID, we want to welcome sickness, we want to go stuff, but it's like the very things you're trying to push back, learn to live within them, and maybe they'll even be used for God's purposes and will in your life.
And that's the point. You know, every present moment, even in the commonplace, even in the discomforts and the challenges and obstacles we face, there's grace there if you have the eyes for it. There's grace there if you take the time to look for it. Yes. And that's what awakened in me when I finished this story. You know, sometimes you don't know what you're really writing until it's over, and then you step back and go, "Oh, that's what this story is about." And this story ends up being an origin story about a tradition we take for granted every Christmas, tinsel, but it's more than that. It's how a common spider played a pivotal role in the Christmas story, and or may have. They have. And look, legends, people say, oh, well, this is just make-believe. Well, no. Legends are merely history that over time becomes encrusted with, other facts, and people embellish and stretch. But at the kernel, at the heart, these legends have truths in them, and that's why they endure.
Right.
And we need those. We need to hear them.
Yeah.
And this is one of those neat stories. It's a legend that falls in the cracks of the greatest story ever told.
Right.
Why not tell it? And I love that it's up all kinds of questions for kids and families, and they're having those discussions about Herod, the Holy Family running. Why are they hiding? Why does the spider responding to the baby Jesus? All those things are great and important questions for kids to ask, I think, this time of year, to ground us into the reality of what we're celebrating, and not Fontanini figures and little pictures we see on the wall. It deepens the story in many ways.
I grew up with Joy's family as well as my own family. We've been together since she's 14 years old. And Joy's dad was just a really wonderful man, a laborer guy, carpenter guy, really God-fearing guy. But, he wasn't a real church goer all that much till the end of his life. And he just really came to a deeper commitment with the Lord. But he loved Christmas, okay? And Bob, Joy's father, had a tradition. You don't buy the Christmas tree till like the day before Christmas.
Right.
And when you're living in the New York metropolitan area, New Jersey area, you get a lousy tree the last day, I can tell you that. But Bob would come home, and he'd come home, he'd bring the tree in, And and this tree would be really sparse. And so he was a carpenter. He would take off some of the branches. He'd drill holes where he wanted the branches, put the branches in. Joy's mother would be bemoaning this terrible tree. He put it together. But nobody helped him with the tree. Bob did this all by himself.
Oh.
And one of the finishing touches was that he would put single strands of tinsel on the tree. And I was dating Joy at the time. And Bob said to me, Jim, you want to put some tinsel on with me? And Joy was like, this is amazing. No child gets to put the tinsel. And we would put it on one strand at a time. And Bob was a rough guy. He'd be saying, oh, Christmas tree, oh, put the tinsel. But the tinsel, right? The tinsel, that's what you're talking about,
right.
was so important. And your book, that fills another gap, right? A historic gap, but it fills the gap of why are we doing tinsel or garland? What are we doing here?
Yeah, we take these traditions for granted, and we shouldn't, is my point. And I love, if you go to Eastern Europe, they actually put spiders in the spider ornaments, very ornate crystal ornaments, on the tree branches. Well, I couldn't figure out why that was. Now, there's another Christmas story about a spider where an old poor woman puts her tree up and she has nothing, and the spider comes and decorates her tree. That's not the reason they put tinsel in the tree. This story of the Christ child and the spider is the reason tinsel is there.
Raymond,
so I wanted to connect people to that.
Even before I read the story. I'm going to tell you, maybe I'm a marketer or something, but I thought there's going to be a market for spiders.
And tinsel. It's going to be resurrected.
We need to get spiders and put them on, because like you're saying, that will evoke, well, what are we doing putting spiders on Christmas tree? What's the connection there to be able to share that?
And adults are freaked out, but the kids love spiders, I'm figuring out. Well, they all are like, whoa, where's the spider? I want to see the spider. So, so now you have something you can keep from Halloween and put it on your Christmas tree.
There you go. There you go.
Well, Raymond, the book is an absolute winner. And I think it's going to become part of, I think somebody had said, of the canon of kind of children's books you need to read during Christmas. I mean, that should be right there with it and to tell the story. So this is a must read, a must purchase. I think we got 2 or 3 minutes left, Raymond. Yeah. I know you just kind of, you hang out every day and just put your feet up on your desk. You don't do much. Yeah. But I know you're so involved with things seen and unseen and EWTN and the political, everything that's going on. Amy Coney Barrett today.
Yes.
Maybe confirm, tell us about what's going on with that.
She's probably going to be confirmed tonight. The vote is scheduled for this evening, I think around 7:30, and then they're going to swear her in at the White House tonight. So the minute I leave you all, I've got to run to catch a plane because I'm going to cover that event tonight. Of course, this is the last week of the election. But Amy Coney Barrett, I have to tell you, I'm a New Orleans boy. She grew up about 4 or 5 blocks from where I'm standing today. Her father's a deacon in our parish here. He's been a deacon for 40 years. An amazing family and a really wonderful woman. I later found out, I interviewed some of her family and friends. We were the first to talk to them several weeks ago before she was announced, the week she was announced. And I later found out my brother did plays in high school with Amy Coney Barrett, and they were opposite each other in the leads in a musical, which I won't mention, but she was very kind to him. He had a stuttering problem and difficulty getting the lines out, and she patiently walked through all the lines with him. And that, I think, is a mark of who she is, and you hear these stories again and again right up into adulthood. She's an amazing and brilliant jurist, and we'll see what she does on this.
And this explains also why you're in kind of like a jogging outfit for At Home with Jim and Joe. You're going to jog from New Orleans up to D.C. Raymond's going to do that. We want you to know. He wouldn't say that, but he's going to do that for this confirming process. Raymond, in the last minute or so, just a word to the EWTN family with all that's going on in our society, the elections coming up. What should be our focus as Catholics? What should we be thinking about at this time, even if whatever the outcome might be? What should be our mind at this time?
I'll go back to the spider who saved Christmas, which, as you said earlier, St. Joseph in his fear attacks the web, attacks the spider because he's afraid of it and wants to protect his family. Sometimes the things we fear, when you give in to fear, not the best outcomes come from that. But as Our Lady says in the book, all are here for a reason. All have a purpose. And I think at this time, during this election season, we have to focus on the totality of life, the preciousness of all lives, all of creation, and not just one part of it or another. That all has to be taken into consideration. And I hope when this is over, we come together as a people, and that's part of the reason I wrote a Christmas book and not a political book, which people want me to write, because this is what we need. We need to gather around the traditions and the truth this time of year and not around the things that divide us or the acrimony and arguments we have throughout the year. So
Gotcha.
I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy Birthday, Joy.
Well, thank you, Raymond, and we pray God's richest blessings upon you. Be safe in your travels and be well, and God's wonderful love to your beautiful family. We love you, Raymond.
God bless you, Raymond.
Love you all back.
The
Thank you.
Spider Who Saved Christmas, a must read, must get. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Please don't go away.
Well, before we wrap up today's show, we're going to go to Rome to check in with beautiful Joan Lewis. Now, Joan, what's happening at the Vatican this week?
Well, hi, Jim and Joy. It's always a joy to be with you, and especially in a week of so many big news stories. But today I'm just going to focus on two. The first one, somewhat briefly, and it's probably something you already know, that yesterday at the Angelus, Pope Francis announced a consistory will be held in November for the creation of 13 new cardinals. And one of those 13 is Archbishop Wilton Gregory of Washington, D.C. So it'll be very important for the church in America, but a historical moment as well, because he will be the first African-American cardinal in the history of our church. Now, the other big news story that burst onto the scene last Wednesday were words that Pope Francis is said to have said about civil unions for homosexuals. And this came out in a new documentary that was released that afternoon called Francesco. So in what we now know is a very wonderfully edited and spliced together video of different statements that the Holy Father made in a 2019 interview with a very respected Mexican journalist. And here's what he is quoted as saying entirely altogether in the new documentary, even though they were separate remarks. Homosexual people have a right to be in a family. They are children of God and have a right to a family. Nobody should be thrown out or made miserable over it. What we have to create is a civil union law. That way they are legally covered. I stood up for that. Now, in Spanish, the Holy Father used the words convivencia civil, and you can translate into English convivencia as coexistence. That would be the literal translation. But also, loosely but correctly, you could translate that as living together, but not in the sense of civil union, that is to say, a legal contract. So, news headlines around the world, for example, included Pope approves gay marriage. Pope endorses civil unions for gays. And after this news really went around the world, people, Catholics, lay people, bishops, priests, really expressed profound concern over the fact that the Pope seems to have changed. Did he change, is the question, traditional church teaching. Now, that teaching is found in a 2003 document from the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, and that teaching is still valid. And I'll give you just one sentence from that document. The Church teaches that respect for homosexual persons cannot lead in any way to approval of homosexual behavior or to legal recognition of homosexual unions. So for those of us covering the story, it's a profoundly difficult story, but a big problem for us is that no one in the Vatican, and especially the Holy See Press Office, has come out with any kind of a statement. They don't deny, they don't confirm, they don't clarify. So that's one of the reasons why what the Pope is said to have said but didn't say, that's why it's such a problem for all of us. But I like what John Allen titled his title on a Crux story. If you don't fix it, you own it. So that's kind of something to think about, isn't it, folks? Well, I'll be on top of this story and many others and be back with you soon. But right now, time is up. So back to you.
Joan, thanks so much for those insights and clarification. Enjoy, again, a blessed birthday, a great day to you. It's a great day. But there have been days in your life and in my life where we feel like we're in a cave, as Raymond's book was sharing with us. The cave of cancer, the cave of a heart attack, the cave of COVID, the cave of economic crisis, the cave of evil, the cave goes on and on and on. But remember those words that Raymond shared, that Our Lady said, everyone is here for a purpose. You're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. Take hold of Christ and take hold of this time that he has for you. He'll take every evil, turn it to good, the curse into a blessing, and death, and turn it to life. You're an important part of this family, and you're always at home with Jim and Joy. Bye now.